Hello there and welcome along to Hive Live Extra, your place for exclusive reaction and analysis following Watford's 2-0 victory over Huddersfield Town. Tom Cleverley and João Pedro, the goal scorers, to mark the Graham Taylor match day with 3 points and a big victory. Here with me in the studio to talk through the twists and turns of the game, I'm joined by two former Hornets strikers in Gifton, Noel-Williams and Tommy Mooney. Tommy, we'll come to you first. I mean, it was only December that we last played Huddersfield. Here we are in January now, and what a difference.
Yeah, big change around since that game in December. New head coach, couple of good results, and certainly first half was probably a frustrating performance today because, you know, Huddersfield just came for a 0-0, very clear to see, and we're doing well by half time. But then you get that extra little lift when Tom, he'd been chasing people down the whole game, but when you get an opportunity like that, you know, it's you don't turn those over. So to get that goal, it was a relief for almost some of the players. You could see it in them. They wanted the ball a little bit more after we'd taken the lead. So yeah, a really good result and still more to come.
And Gifton, what pleased you the most about this afternoon?
I mean, Tommy mentioned this now about frustration, and I mentioned at half time that Huddersfield set up today to frustrate Watford. That was their game plan. I'm going to frustrate you, so you be off your game, or we'll nick a goal later on in the game, a set piece or something like that. And I think that Watford, they stayed to their game plan. That's what I was so impressed of. First half didn't look too great, but they'll put in the foundation in for a good second half. And second half they came out a bit more energy, and they really didn't get frustrated. They got the goal, and after that it was easy really. After they got the first goal.
Well, we'll have more reaction from Gifton and Tommy here in the studio shortly. But now we can hear from one of the goal scorers speaking to us exclusively here on Hive Live Extra. It's the Hornets midfielder, Tom Cleverley. Tom, what a difference a month or so makes, hey, compared to the away performance at Huddersfield.
Yeah, I know, yeah. We owed them one, I suppose. We were very flat up there, and yeah, it hurt, that defeat, so we wanted to get revenge for that, and also we've dwelt on the Swansea result for a couple of weeks now, so it was nice to just get back out there in the league, and now there's a run of games coming thick and fast, so we're happy to be back in league action. Yeah,
did you find that? I know you've had the FA Cup in the meantime, but you guys were just really raring to go this afternoon, especially against opposition like Huddersfield. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, it's quite unusual to have a 2-week break from the league in this division, and when you lose and lose a lead like we did at Swansea, it's frustrating, and especially for me, who I wasn't involved in the United game. So yeah, I've really been chomping at the bit to get back in league form.
Yeah, you used the word frustrating there, and I think that sums up performance away at Huddersfield, and they're one of those teams, like a number of teams this season, that have done exactly that. They've frustrated you a little bit. I think we saw that in the first half, didn't we? What clicked, do you think, in the second half? What was different?
It's a good question, really. Obviously, getting the first goal always helps. And in the first half, I felt like we were never threatened, but we were not creating clear-cut chances, and yeah, we just went up a gear in the second half, which naturally does happen here a little bit, kicking towards the rookery. Even with no fans, I don't know what it is as a footballer, but naturally you have an end that you prefer, I suppose. And yeah, I think we always seem to come on good second half.
Yeah, that's really fascinating to hear. I'm sure the fans will be pleased to hear that anyway. Even though they're not here in person, you can still feel them here in spirit. You touched on it there, the turning point really was your goal. We noticed that you were chasing down a couple of balls before you did finally get the goal. Did you sense there was something there for you? Whether it was the goalkeeper perhaps being a little bit nervous, or?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to throw the keeper under the bus or anything, but it was a young backline, a young goalkeeper, and there was a couple of throw-ins in the first half where you sense a little bit of anxiety. So yeah, we pressed a lot more than we have done in the last couple of games, and it paid off.
Yeah. I have to say, here in the studio, I think we should give an assist to Gifton Noel-Williams, because at half-time, he said, not only perhaps we need to test the keeper a little bit more, he looks a bit nervous, but he said your name, he thought you'd be at the centre of it, and there we are. The two things came together. And as you went off to celebrate, there did seem to be a bit of a growl on your face. It just looked like you were really hungry for that this afternoon.
Yeah, definitely. I think I I felt how big this result was for us and how big the first goal is in this league. So yeah, a bit of frustration and a bit of, I was pumped up after winning a tackle for a goal, and it's just letting it out, but no, big win in the end.
How important was it then to follow it up with that second goal and ultimately kill the game off?
That was the pleasing thing from today for me. We've took the lead in a lot of games and sort of sat back and invited teams on, and today we learnt from our mistake at Swansea. We went for the second, we went for the third, and we really twisted the knife in when we needed to. Yeah,
and you think going forward that should be something, I suppose, especially now as we are in the second half of the season, you're counting down the games now towards the end of the season. You need to keep that up, really.
Definitely, yeah. The players we've got, we're going to take the lead in a lot of games, so there's no need to let that change the way we're playing. Just continue doing the good things that we do. Yeah, a great team performance overall, but one other individual I will mention is Dan Bachmann in the Watford goal today. A big opportunity for him, and he took it with that clean sheet as well. Yeah, really pleased for Dan. He's had to wait a long time to make I think that was his league debut today for the club. Fantastic trainer, keeps his head down, great professional, and I'm really pleased for him. Yeah, I suppose now it's all about following it up, isn't it, on Tuesday night against Barnsley, and getting some real momentum now. Yeah, I think the old cliche is take each game as it comes, but we know as a squad we need to put a run of wins together. I think 2's the maximum this year. Yeah. And that's not good enough to be in the top 2 spots, so even though we are taking each game as it comes, in the back of our mind we know we need to get a consecutive run of wins. Yeah, and I suppose it's similar to this one in that it's an away performance that you'll probably want to put right here at Vicarage Road. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Absolutely. It's a busy period as well. You started this interview saying that, especially because you sat out the FA Cup game, you really wanted to go again. So I'm sure after a win like that, getting back to winning ways, you're probably all looking forward to being back in action. Whether your bodies say that tomorrow or not, because you've worked hard here today, but I'm sure you're just looking forward to getting back to it. Yeah, I think the players would agree with me. We like it when it's thick and fast. 5 games in the next 2 weeks. We've got a big enough squad to be able to handle that, and everyone will get the minutes. So I think it's healthy for the squad that the games come thick and fast. Yeah, and just finally, of course you would have known in the build-up to the game, it was the Graham Taylor match day, a fitting tribute that you managed to get all 3 points and really mark it. Yeah, that's obviously makes it extra special for me. I remember my first game coming back was Middlesbrough at home, and that was the week and I hit the post that game, and I was gutted that I couldn't do it in the week of such a special week. So it's nice to do it on the anniversary weekend. And the 72nd minute, I mean, I know you're very much in the thick of the game at that point, but just to hear his song sort of pumped out around the stadium, of course it's not the same as having the fans here, but I'm sure that extra little bit of atmosphere got you over the line this afternoon, did it? Yeah, definitely. That was a nice touch from the club. It's those special things that the club do are what makes it such a family and welcoming club. So yeah, just finally, I think after the win against Norwich City, it was Sweet Caroline in the dressing room, wasn't it? What was the sort of choice that Cisco went for? I think it was Eye of the Tiger today. Right, I think so. Yeah, Sweet Caroline was before. We need to get some kind of album together, I think, don't we, at the end of the season, especially if you lot get promoted. And actually, the final point we will make, I think that puts you up to 5th in the table. How pleased are you with that being sort of the state of play? I think, importantly, we've got a game in hand over Norwich City and Bournemouth as well. Yeah. How satisfied are you with where things are at? Yeah, obviously you've got to concentrate on yourself, I see, but you look at what the others are doing. Norwich are doing fantastic. Brentford have obviously had postponements, but they're a top team. But let's just keep concentrating ourselves, get some consecutive wins together, and we're not happy with where we are at the minute. We want to be in those top 2 spots, but the main thing is that you're there come the middle of May. So the thoughts of the Hornets midfielder Tom Cleverley there. Tommy Mooney, what did you take from that?
I think it's important to know that they're looking forward to games. 2 really big games this week on the back of a good win today. They're already looking at the next games, which is important when you're going for promotion. That's a constant. You have to have other games in the back of your mind. You deal with today's game and then immediately focus on the next.
Yeah. It shows confidence as well, doesn't it? when you get a bunch of players that they're looking forward to the next game, it shows that they're confident. They want to go and fight for that 3 points. When the team's not so confident, they want it to be Saturday, because they want that time during the week to rest and to recover. But
yeah, because they'll look at a group of games like we used to. You look at a group of games and you know what points tally you want by a certain date, and I think that's a positive.
Yeah.
It's the way we were brought up.
Yeah.
Well, it's the way you were brought up. I was like halfway through my career. But that's just the way that I think, even in the modern game, I think that's the correct thing to do.
Yeah, and with that, it does feel like there is a certain amount of feel-good factor around the place, doesn't it? I know we're in an empty stadium, there's not a huge amount of atmosphere, but there's just something in the air with what Xisco's doing here with this group of players. Would you agree, Gifton?
yeah, I think so, 100%. You know, when the new manager came in, I spoke to Tom. I said, Tom, what do you think about the new manager? And the first thing he said, he's full of energy, Gif. He's full of energy, he's bubbling around the place, he's got a good personality. And I think that's what he's bringing to this group of players. I think the players are good enough by themselves. They need someone to just manage them, make sure that everyone is high in their mind, and mentally they're feeling good about themselves. And if he does that and he keeps them and maintains the energy, then I think that this team will do well this season.
Yeah, I mean, you've both been promoted to the Premier League. We should mention under the great Graham Taylor, who we've been remembering today and celebrating. So you'll both know it's that extra little bit you need, isn't it, to get over the line?
Yeah, I think Gaffer used to say attention to detail.
Yes.
That's what makes you a professional. You're not a professional because you're getting paid. You're a professional because of your attention to detail. And I'm hopeful that the current regime will have that and be looking forward to it. Like we said, Tom's already alluded to that they're looking forward to the next group of games. And I think the positivity around the club is huge. I know the supporters can't come into the stadium, but all of the players are on social media. Be kind to the players on social media. It's easy to have a pop at them. Get behind them and let's see where this can go, because, you know, I've been lucky enough to play in dressing rooms where everybody's pulling together. Granted, there was no social media when I played, but it's exactly the same thing. Everybody get together and pull in the same direction, and invariably you get what you want at the end.
Is that something you'd echo, Gifton?
Oh yeah, 100%. I think it's a snowball effect. I think when you talk about promotions and relegations as well, it's a snowball effect. So if something starts off small and you get things rolling, you get things going, and then before you know it, that ball is massive, and you're training, you're playing games without even knowing. I know in our runs when we was playing, there was games when we went through 3-4 games winning, and you didn't even really realise, did you? You rested, you came to the next game, you played, you won. You rest, you played, you won. You rest, you played, you won. And you didn't even really realise what you was doing. It was just almost second nature, because you got that snowball effect. And the same thing can happen in relegation as well. Yeah. The snowball effect can come on. So I think for us to be successful this season, we need to have a snowball effect. Now if you look at it now, we've won our first game today. I think if we go and win again Tuesday, win Saturday, and we get a little run going, go 5-10 games without losing, draws and just wins, that snowball effect comes in. Other teams, when they come to Vicarage Road, they won't want to come here and play. Yeah. So that even before the game's even won, they could have really win the game. Yeah. So that's what I think Watford need to get for the second half. If we get that, I think then we'll fly and get promoted this season. Yeah, and Tom Cleverley said it himself there. You know, it's all about following it up now and making sure they don't just win back-to-back games, but they can go on a run of 2, 3, 4, as you just said, Gifton. And that starts again on Tuesday night. The Hornets are in action here once more at Vicarage Road against Barnsley. That is a 7:45 kick-off, so you've got a full 45 minutes of wall-to-wall Watford chat to look forward to as we build up to kick-off. All being well, we will be joined by a Watford first-team player as part of that build-up as well. So lots to look forward to. Do join us on Tuesday night, watfordfc.com/Hive Live. But from us here in the studio for now, it's thank you to Gifton and to Tommy on what's been a very memorable match day here at Vicarage Road, where we've been paying tribute to our greatest ever manager, Graham Taylor, and the players have managed to mark it with a big 3 points. We look forward to seeing you on Tuesday.
If you enjoyed that, you'll love this.